David Dobrik is getting called out for being a bad friend. Cody Ko is returning to his React YouTube channel. Matt James is posting on social media again. There's Oscars drama, Chapel Roan drama. We are going to get into everything that is getting talked about this week. Another week of the weekly TEACAP. I hope you guys are liking it. We are going to dive straight into Super Bowl news because happy Super Bowl, that's today. And one of the big stories besides the big game and the halftime show is, will Blake Lively be attending with Taylor Swift? I mean, we're just a couple hours away from actually finding the answers to this, but it has been talked about so much in the press if Blake is actually going to attend. There's so much drama in the headlines right now. Is she friends with Taylor? Is she not? Because if you remember, there were text messages that came out of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni texting, and through that, it was revealed that at one point when Justin was at Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's penthouse, Taylor had stopped by and she gave her 2 cents on the script that Blake had written. The way Justin wrote about this situation in his complaint was very much giving Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift were telling me that they liked what Blake wrote as a way to pressure me into being like, yes, like let's use Blake's version. Like I like what she wrote. And because Taylor was mentioned in this whole lawsuit, it ends with a situation. People are saying that Taylor is not too happy with Blake. Their friendship is on the rocks. Different outlets are reporting different things. Like one outlet will say that they are not talking right now and that they are not going to the Super Bowl together like last year. And then other reports are saying that they're all good. Everything is fine. They're so close that this isn't going to rock anything for them. So we're just going to have to see what happens at the game if Blake is with Taylor and her group of friends. It was a very big deal last year that she brought Blake Lively and Ice Spice. So I guess I'll be interested to know who is going to be coming with her this time. But as of Friday, TMZ reported, sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Blake is not on Taylor's list of guests as she watches BF Travis Kelce take a run at 3 rings in a row. Prior to this, there were reports saying that Blake was going to attend, so I don't know what to believe. We're just gonna have to tune in and see. Now, speaking of feuds, you guys, we have got to get into this Oscars drama because this is crazy, and I talked about this last week, but things have escalated since then. This has to do with Carla Sofia Gascon. Carla is nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars for her role in Amelia Perez. But after old tweets resurface, people are not happy with her. They want her nomination to be taken away from her. They don't want to see her at all at the Oscars. And now she's even being accused of ruining pretty much every chance the movie had of winning something. I don't know how true that is, but it definitely isn't a good look as this film was a front runner. So the fact that it is in so much controversy right now is wild, and people do think it will affect the votes. And if you guys didn't hear what happened with her tweets, basically old tweets had resurfaced showing her commenting on Muslims, George Floyd, and diversity at the Oscars. And then she issued an apology and deactivated her Twitter. She said, "I want to acknowledge the conversation around my past social media posts that have caused hurt." Gascon said in a statement from Netflix, "As someone in a marginalized community, I know this suffering all too well, and I am deeply sorry to those I have caused pain. All my life, I have fought for a better world. I believe light will always triumph over darkness." Since this apology, though, there have been even more tweets that have come out that people are accusing her of having tweeted in the past. Ones about Adele and Selena Gomez, but I will say she was saying that those were fake and that she did not say those negative comments about Selena and Adele because people were like, whoa, that is her co-star that she has called a rich brat before. This is definitely awkward, uncomfortable. And well, she's saying it's not true and that was not her, but it has since come out that Netflix has decided to distance themselves from Carla. Variety reported this week, Gascon, who made history as the first openly transgender performer to be nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards, was expected to travel from her home in Spain to Los Angeles for the critical second phase of the Oscars campaign. Her planned itinerary included major entertainment industry events such as the AFI Awards luncheon on Thursday, the Critics' Choice Awards on Friday, the Director Guild of America Awards, and the Producer Guild of America Awards on Saturday, and the Santa Barbara International Film Festival on Sunday. However, Gascon is no longer expected to attend any of them. Sources tell Variety that Netflix and the PR agency have stopped talking directly with Gascon and are only communicating through her United Talent Agency representative, Jeremy Barber. Sources also said the streamer is no longer covering expenses for her travel to the various award shows or her styling for any appearances at these events. Now, Carla has since posted another apology. This time she has posted it on Instagram, and she made this apology after the director of Amelia Perez, Jacques, came out and did an interview discussing all of the controversy surrounding the movie and Carla. She said, following Jacques' interview, that I understand, I decided for the film, for Jacques, for the cast, for the incredible crew who deserves it, for the beautiful adventure we all had together, to let the work talk for itself, hoping my silence will allow the film to be appreciated for what it is, a beautiful ode to love and difference. I sincerely apologize to everyone who has been hurt along the way. So we will just have to see if all of this affects Amelia Perez winning at the Oscars or not. But before all of this, everyone was saying that they might sweep. Now, in other drama, we need to talk about Matt James because he returned to Instagram this week, and this is the first time that we have seen Matt James post since his breakup post with Rachel Kirkconnell. And if you guys remember, Matt James was The Bachelor at one point. It was a very controversial season of The Bachelor. This was Chris Harrison's last season of hosting The Bachelor too, if you guys remember. But basically, Matt and Rachel met on The Bachelor, they broke up, they got back together, and people have been loving them ever since. They post food videos together, and after 4 years together, they suddenly broke up. Matt posted it on Instagram. People were shocked, people were confused. She went on Call Her Daddy, she explained the breakup, saying that it really was such a blindside. He had been talking about wedding and marriage and the future and kids, and there's even clips of him talking about this stuff in interviews that he's done on social media. So
yeah. What are you two most excited for in the future?
Today, eating, but
eating, yeah.
But like in the actual future, just having a family together.
Oh, stop!
Yeah.
That's why the public was so hurt for Rachel, because they were like, we've seen him literally say he wants to marry you and have kids with you. He's been talking about wedding food and all of this stuff, and suddenly he just breaks up with you out of nowhere. It really threw people off, and they did not like him. He lost a ton of followers. He went under 1 million. She gained 200,000 followers. I mean, everyone was on her side for this. But Matt returned to social media this week, and he posted a running video. And I don't know what the theme is where all of these men are deciding to come back to social media with some sort of running or exercise fitness content, because we've seen David Dobrik do it, we've seen Cody Ko do it, and now Matt James has done it. But he also said that he booked a one-way ticket to Kenya and he has been spending time there, which the comment section was saying, thank God it was a one-way. I mean, oh my gosh, people do not like him right now.
I booked a one-way ticket to Kenya. My dad was born in Nigeria, and I've always wanted to come to Africa. So I got my yellow fever vaccine, typhus shot, cholera vaccine. I even had to apply for a visa. The flight was direct, about 13 hours from New York City to the capital of Kenya, Nairobi. From Nairobi, you fly 30 minutes into Eldoret and drive another 30 minutes into Iten. Iten is home to some of the world's greatest runners and training grounds for people from all across the world who want to experience what makes this place so special. I think like most places, it's the people. So I'm very excited to be here and experience firsthand what makes Kenya such a special place.
But he did end up deleting his breakup post with Rachel, so that is gone from his page on Instagram. And if you guys remember, the tea with that was that he posted that breakup post literally hours after they broke up. So that was just way hurtful to Rachel. And when people found this out, they were like, this is nuts. But speaking about fitness content in ways that people have tried to come back onto social media after some sort of controversy, Cody Ko has returned back to his second channel, which is his Cody Ko channel. It is his React channel. And if you guys remember, when he came back to social media recently, he came back and he was posting on his third channel. It was his Cody Trains channel, but now he's slowly moving to his Cody Ko channel. And I feel like we're gonna get a main channel video any day now with the way that he is slowly testing the waters, it seems. The videos that he posted were the Mr. Beast torture games and checking in on the button. And honestly, the comments were mostly pretty positive, with a lot of people just saying that they missed him and wanted his content back and all of that. But I don't know, maybe he's playing his cards right in some ways in terms of how he's choosing to come back because the comments aren't mean, but maybe he's filtering them. I don't know, you guys. It's just crazy to see because there are so many people that are like, we don't want Cody Ko. We're disgusted by what he's done with Tana, but he's still making content and there's still people saying that they like him. So I don't know, you guys. Now, to get into another situation this week, we need to talk about Chappell Roan at the Grammys and the speech that she gave because a lot of people were praising her, including the people that were in the audience. Other artists were standing up listening to her give this very powerful speech when she won her award for Best New Artist this year. In her speech, she called out record labels and want them to provide artists with a livable wage and healthcare, sharing her personal experience of being dropped by a label without job experience or health insurance during the pandemic. And the reason why we're talking about this is because there's actually been some drama now because The Hollywood Reporter released a guest column article that was titled "Chappell Grown: The Misguided Rhetoric of an Instant Industry Insider" guest column. Jeff Rabin was the one that wrote this article, and the music industry executive dismissed Chappell's Grammy acceptance speech as tried and plagiarized and suggested that she was too green and too uninformed to be advocating for changes in the industry, such as livable wages and healthcare for artists. Jeff argued that while Chappell's calls for better treatment of artists were noble, they were also wildly misinformed. He claimed that artists should take personal responsibility for their careers rather than expecting labels to provide financial stability. He went on to challenge Chappell to back up her words with action, essentially telling her to put her money where her mouth is. And Chappell called him right out on her Instagram story. She posted a screenshot of the article and said, "At Jeff Rabin, wanna match me $25K to donate to struggling dropped artists? My publicist is at Biz3 Publicity. Let's talk." She also posted, "We'll keep everyone updated on the much awaited Jeff Rabin response, and I will show receipts of the donation. Mr. Rabin, I love how in the article you said, put your money where your mouth is. Genius. Let's link and build together and see if you can do the same." And Halsey also backed up what Chappell was saying by posting on her Instagram story in support of Chappell, because she was not standing for that Hollywood Reporter article either. Now, as for someone who has been getting called out a little bit recently, that is Brooke Schofield. Yes, recently people felt like she had come to David's defense, or at least show David Dobrik grace, and they didn't think that he deserved that, especially from her, someone who is friends with Jeff Wittek.
Like, what do you mean you just get to come back scot-free? What do you mean? What do you actually imagine?
Do you think he got to come back scot-free though? He got like, I mean, right.
I mean,
he definitely took a hit.
He took a hit. I don't mean it like that. I guess I just
I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm just saying like it's not like he just like nothing happened.
I know. I just think, imagine I took your eye out.
Oh.
And then I never paid you $1, never once said sorry, and never once like just fully validated your emotions, or maybe even came online and validated your emotions. All those people were Jeff's friend too. You know, and I think that makes me sad. Like, let's just say in like this scenario, like I would hope like if I did something to you like that, that like Paige wouldn't just like blindly, like I know Paige would be like, that's wrong. You have to pay her. Like you have to help her.
Yeah,
you have
the difference is if like something like that happened to you at my hands, I would have like probably had to die or something by now.
No, I mean,
no, just like actually the guilt would eat me alive. That's the only reason, like I never want to say like I have sympathy in the situation, but like the way that I would feel if I did that to somebody, I have to assume that he feels that way as well. You hope.
Yeah, and just knowing his personality, I'm just like,
you don't think he does?
No. And that's like what, like you don't feel guilty. You don't feel sad.
I sound like I'm just like an apologist right now, and that is not the angle I'm going for.
And I'm clearly coming in very hot. Like you're like, yeah, you're playing a game right now where you're like dodging the balls I'm throwing at you. Like I understand.
Well,
completely.
I don't know. Again, it's more one of those things where it's like I feel still like my cancellation is too fresh for me to come at anybody else's cancellation. You know what I mean?
I completely disagree, and maybe I'm wrong.
Well, you know, how can I hope that people have grace for me if I have no grace for anyone else?
That's true. But listen, this is a canceled podcast, right? This isn't like the horse girl palooza.
And Brooke did end up saying that she knows how hard it is for Jeff and for him to see David and the amount of wealth that he has. As Tana was saying, it just pisses her off that David can come back and spend money buying people cars, and he can go on these lavish luxury vacations and pay for his friends, but he can't pay Jeff. But people were still quite upset at Brooke for seemingly giving David some grace, even though she did say that she understands how it's hard for him. And because Brooke actually got called out for this recently, Jeff decided to bring this up on his podcast with Tana this week.
You stuck up for me with Brooke against your co-host that I thought was my friend too, but all of a sudden she's
Wait, what? Can you say that again? You cut out and I want to be careful with my response.
You stuck up for me with your co-host Brooke was, I guess, siding with the devil over there, and you were like,
I stand
"Hey,
10 toes down for Jeff. I think she's just afraid of controversy, you know.
Well, then get out of this game.
yeah, this game ain't for you, then, girl. You ain't gonna make it." You know,
Well, would you like me to pass the message? Like, I don't, you know, I'm Tana, right?
So Tana thinks that she just doesn't want to be in controversy, but it just wasn't sitting right with people that she's gotten closer to Jeff and can still have this grace for David after seeing all that Jeff has struggled with and how David has been towards him, especially with Tana and Trisha riding so hard for Jeff. The fact that she's hesitant on the subject, people just didn't love it. But speaking of David, he did post another YouTube video this week. Yes, David posted a video onto his second channel, a bloopers video of clips that didn't make it into his big comeback video on his main channel. And in this, he is getting called out because of some jokes that he made towards Jason, basically saying that he hit rock bottom.
We're gonna vlog? Actually, are you serious?
We waited for Jason to hit rock bottom once again.
Are you free? Of course I'm free. Yes, I'm free.
Hey, guess what? I was free too.
No more TikTok live.
And people just feel like his awareness that his friends have been down as he stepped away from YouTube isn't right. Later, we see David talking to Jason about if they did the podcast again, would he stop doing TikTok live? And Jason said yeah, and admitted to not liking that he has to do it. And he said that he also didn't want David to put this clip in, but David put it in anyway.
Such a funny thing. This is how you met me, destitute.
I know.
And it went right back.
Do you have a fun ride? If I did the podcast again, you'd stop TikTok live?
Oh my God. I don't want to do TikTok live anymore. You can't put that in, but I'm dying to get out. And I make a big thing about it. I'd be like, guys, I know everyone hates this, and nobody hates it more than me.
The thing that I found interesting was that David actually posted this clip onto his TikTok and then he deleted it. I don't know if he just realized he didn't look good because Jason told him not to include it and he posted it in multiple places, or what. Maybe he was getting comments about making fun of Jason for how he's had to make money since the vlog stopped, or maybe it was a lot of people telling Jason to get a job because I was seeing that. They were like, why is he complaining about doing TikTok live? He could get, you know, a normal job if he wanted. And the thing about Jason having to do TikTok live and David basically retiring from the internet, there's been a lot of talk about this in the Vlog Squad about how David has kind of lost touch a little bit with his friends and how they have to have jobs and he doesn't. In the past, we heard that David turned down life-changing money for Jason because he just didn't want to do their podcast anymore. And Jason was struggling to keep his life together after David was no longer on social media and was public about it on his podcast and other podcasts, which people felt made David look like an even worse friend because of what was said, because he didn't seem to understand or laughed off his friends struggling while he was basically living some retired life.
David's in this like moment in his life,
Yeah, where he can do anything.
where he just parties like every day. Like genuinely, if there was a party every day, Jay, he would be at it. Not kidding.
Yeah.
And he'd be fucking drinking, having a good time,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. I just can't do that, man. You know?
No, I
Like,
can't either.
I just can't do that. And like, I'm not. He has something to celebrate because he's made it.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
talked about this before.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
put myself in that mindset. Like,
Yeah, he calls me to play pool, and I'm like, I gotta go live, and I don't expect him to understand that. Like I know I've told him. There's also things that I like say to him, and I'm not sure if he hears me. Like I'll say things like, "I'm losing my house," and he'll be like, "Oh, but just come play pool."
And I feel like we were basically seeing him laughing at his friends for like struggling to make money in this new video. So some people were just calling it out that it wasn't a good look, but I will say that Jason can rest a little easier now since David and him are back to doing their podcast, at least for right now. We'll see how long that keeps up, but as far as this new vlog David posted, it's pretty much the same as before. I mean, they're doing fat jokes, offensive jokes. It felt pretty much the same. A car giveaway.
What the fuck brought this outside my damn house? What's your name? Natalie. Obese. We're actually recruiting for the gang. Give me a 360. God damn, you're fat as fuck. Yeah, you're in.
Don't order so much food. There has to be 3 people you're taking us around.
It's a little tight, huh? Maybe we should have went with a tank or a Hummer. Say that he wanted a Mercedes because you wanted a Mercedes.
I've never, I'm saying the 3 years here, I've never
She's like, I literally don't speak English.
But that's what's going on in David's world and why some felt like this new vlog didn't make him look the best. But maybe he's not trying to prove he's better than he was in the new videos. Maybe he's thinking that those videos used to work for him in the past until he got in trouble and he's just going back to what he knows. I don't know, even though you would think he would learn his lesson because those videos ended up getting him in trouble, but I don't know. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about all of this, from David's return, Cody Ko coming back, the Oscars drama, Chappell Roan, and the Hollywood Reporter. Let me know what you guys think about everything that went down this week. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.